Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Talking with Thompson. I am your host, the pretty boy, if you want to go by character name in wrestling and stuff like that. If you want to do that, I really don't want to do that, but I guess you can call me the pretty boy, or you can just call me the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Thompson. And today, we got a pretty funny podcast episode lined up. If you guys think it's funny, um, but before I get into that, I just wanted to let you guys know that there will be more people on this podcast. I'm trying to get people on here. I have a list lined up um, of people I want to put on this podcast, but just getting now we're starting to ease back out into the world. Everything's starting to open up and get back to, in a sense, normal. So hopefully in the near future it gets a little bit easier to do that and get more people on instead of having to try and like figure out like a Skype or like a Zoom. But I'm trying to get some people on, and I only have one mic, so I probably have to put it in the center. So I'm trying to work on possibly getting a second mic for them. But yeah, besides that, I mean, this episode is just me talking, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys like my voice. I don't know if you guys hate it, but it's just me talking, so there's nobody else here. But I do think that this episode uh, will will make up for the fact that nobody else is here with me and I'm just talking. Um, we're gonna talk about how I got stuck on an escalator. Now, I've had a lot of people tell me, and I said it in the last episode. I believe that this was going to be an episode down the line on a podcast, and had actually people text me and ask me, "How did you get stuck on an escalator?" And I said, "Okay, that seemed to catch some people's eyes, and I mean ears. So figure I'll just make it the next episode." And I'll just talk about my failure of going down an escalator in a mall. And yeah. So we're it's funny because I actually tried to make this a joke in a comedy class in college, and I was talking about how I got stuck on an escalator and like how I remembered every little detail, and I was kind of like going over the top on some things too, just like trying to make it a little bit more funny. And like I think maybe I got only one chuckle for the whole entire joke in class. So like me writing it at home, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be joke of the day. Everybody's gonna love this. Everybody's gonna pop for this because nobody else gets stuck on an escalator. And I think like maybe the first day got a little bit of chuckles, but then like when I had to rewrite it and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this. I think I only got like one chuckle, and I was like, okay, this joke and this story makes me look more like an idiot than it makes me actually seem like a normal human being who just had an accident at a mall. So I, I'm hoping you guys find this funny because I'm kind of laughing because now I'm looking back on it and I'm like I'm such a stupid person for even trying to hold things while going on an escalator and stuff. We'll get into those details. Oh God, I can't believe I'm actually making this story public, but I don't really care because maybe somebody out there can reach out to me and like relate to me and be like, oh yeah, well I got stuck on an escalator too, and I thought I was the only one because that's how I started off the joke, by the way, which was not the best way. I said, anybody else here gets stuck on an escalator, raise your hand, and I was the only one in the room who raised my hand. And I was like, okay, this joke might work, or these people will just think I'm an idiot. And I think it kind of went both ways. All right, but where do we start with this? Oh, God, where do we start with this? So I believe it was a summer day, and my mom, I think, just got home, or it might have been a weekend actually, because I think my mom had off weekends, and she still does, but I think she might have had off on like a Saturday, and when I was younger, we used to make like these weekly trips to the mall, me, my mom, and my sister. And I believe this was one of them. I think I was like maybe 10 years old, maybe a little bit younger. Um, I tried blaming it on the age, but it didn't work, obviously, as you can tell. So, we all are sitting in the house because my dad does not like malls. So, my dad was not going. He was not going. So, it's my mom, my sister, and myself. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the mall. I'm thinking like, sweet, I'm gonna go to GameStop. I'm gonna go to, I don't know if there was like a Toys R Us maybe. I don't think there was. I think it's the mall closest to me, so I don't think there was a Toys R Us. There was KB Toys though. I think that was still there at the time because I'm a big collectible guy. I like action figures. I like pop vinyls. I like everything. That's gonna be its own separate episode, by the way. But I'm gonna try and get somebody else on for that who also likes pop vinyls and stuff. But so I'm a big collectible guy. So me as a kid, I'm like, sweet. I'm gonna look at the toys, the action figures, and KB Toys, GameStop. We usually made like a round to like the puppy place. You know how every mall has a puppy place where you just walk in and you see the dogs in the cage and you can adopt them. Yeah, like every mall, and it's always like close to either the bathroom or like the back end of the mall. I realized that with a lot of malls, like the puppy store is like towards the end, and I don't know why. But so we usually make our rounds there too, like go in there, see the puppies, possibly play with one of them, like get them out of the cage, play fetch and stuff like that on the floor. I don't know. We used to do stuff like that, and so it was myself, my mom, my sister. We go to the mall, and they're shopping, whatever. I don't honestly remember. I don't think I got anything, but all I remember was that I had pants with like holes on the bottom. Like if I was to run, my heel of my sneaker would get stuck in the hole of the jeans. So like it's almost like I was wearing. I don't even know how to describe it, but like um, it's like you. The best way to describe it is if you like pro wrestling. I hate doing it this way, but they have like kick pads and you slide them up and then there's like the little flap that goes over your shoe, but then underneath under the sole there's like a little flap that keeps the kick pad from being loose or whatever. So it was kind of like that. So it was almost like underneath the sole of my shoe. And something was gonna happen eventually with those jeans, because I remember in gym class and stuff when we would have to change, or even during recess when I was in elementary school, those jeans were like making me trip all over the place. So I knew somehow, some way, these jeans were gonna be my worst enemy, and they were gonna be like the end of me and my like dignity. So I decided to wear them to the mall because I'm like, all right, no one's gonna judge me at the mall. They go shopping. My mom, my sister, they do their thing. I'm with them, and oh god, those trips used to be terrible. Going to all those stores and stuff. But then we got to my stores. I don't think I got anything. I really don't. I don't really remember. We're going back like a decade. Um, but so then I think we got done with maybe the Disney store. Maybe it was KB Toys, something. I don't know. There's an escalator, and I think we were gonna get like food before we left or something. I don't know. There's an escalator. And you know how like Buddy the Elf gets cautious before he goes up in the movie Elf? That's kind of how I was, but we were going down. I always thought like the little spikes on the end of the steps would like get into my leg or something. And so I'm taking my time. My mom and my sister are in front of me. Worst mistake. They should have been behind me. But looking at it now, it doesn't really matter. But so they're in front of me. They go on the escalator. They start to go down perfectly fine, like any other normal human being. And then you get to me. Now I remember we got ice cream. So actually, yes, we got ice cream before we went on the escalator. That's where it was. Like, so we didn't get food after, we got it before. So I remember I got ice cream. And I know it exactly because this is what I get. This is the way to my heart with ice cream. A twist with rainbow sprinkles in a small cup. Sometimes I upgrade it to a medium cup, okay? But when I was a kid, it was always a small cup. Twist with rainbow sprinkles in a small cup. So, yeah, you could already tell where this is going. I have the ice cream in one hand. I'm being very cautious going down this escalator. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go down the next step. Oh, maybe I'll go down the next step. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get my ice cream bad. I don't want to spill my ice cream. I love my ice cream. And I think I started to like hold up a line. And I mean, that's pretty impressive. Nobody like said, yo, come on, kid, move. Who cares about the ice cream? Just get on the escalator. Nobody said that. So I think it's kind of pretty impressive that I held people and I possibly gave them a show. I held people up and I gave them a show with this escalator. So I get on the escalator and I think my mom and my sister were almost at the end and I was like, okay, maybe I'll catch up to him. I think I was like fine the first step. I go to try and catch up to him and the stupid thing, the stupid pants that I was talking about where like my heel could go into like the bottom of the pants and like it would wrap over my sole and my shoe. That got stuck on the spike thing of the escalator step. Now, mind you, I'm 10 years old, maybe a little bit younger, and I see my mom and my sister walking away, and I'm like screaming, "Mom, mom, help me! I'm stuck! I'm stuck!" But the thing is, I don't think anybody wants to talk about the catch and the save I made for that ice cream. That ice cream was fumbling in my hands, and I like reached out like an Odell Beckham catch, and I was like holding it like it was like Paul Bearer's urn for the Undertaker, like lifting it up, like raising it to like the holy gods. And I was like, I got my ice cream, but my pants are stuck. So I look like I'm like doing some type of pose going down this escalator, and nobody said anything. No, not the lady behind me. She didn't say nothing. I don't even think she even tried to help call for my parents. She was just looking at me like this kid's an idiot. This kid's a total idiot. So I get the ice cream. Yeah, save the best thing. Food. I was a fat kid, so I loved food. But so I saved the ice cream, but my pants got stuck. And I remember my I screamed for my mom and my sister and they just look up and the face my mom made. It was like the look of pure disappointment. She was like, "Oh my God." She you could just tell and then she had to try and walk up the escalator as as I was going down. So she was walking up the escalator and she just kept going down. She was going nowhere. And then she finally helped me. I think I might have like wiggled my foot or something because she couldn't get there. So I like wiggled my foot and I think the string came undone or something like that. And like the thing might have ripped. So that could overlap under my sole of the shoe. I think that might have ripped from like the teeth of the step on the escalator, and then I just walked off like nothing happened. But so that oh God, so that's like one thing that that's one story that I don't really care to share, but obviously I could tell some of you guys wanted to hear that story. And I remember when we got into the car, or when we were actually I think when I got to like the floor, the ground level. Um, my mom was like, "What are you doing? What? How did you get stuck on an?" And I think they were kind of laughing at me, and I'm like, "Mom," I said, "I almost cried. I think I might have actually cried because I was like, 'Mom, you're gonna leave me here. This thing's gonna like take off my foot.'" I was trying to like keep it calm and but I was like, I'm not letting this ice cream go down. Like, I was not dropping that ice cream. I think I paid like a solid $5 for that ice cream. That's $5 down the drain. No way. As a kid, especially, you like for me as a kid, I really only got money like birthdays and like holidays and stuff. So like having that money to get the ice cream, I was like, no, no, this is golden. I put my money towards this. I am not letting this fall. So yeah, we get back to ground level. My mom has like a prep talk with me about how like how did I get my foot stuck on the escalator step and like what not to do next time. I'm like, Mom, I don't think I'm gonna get stuck on an escalator again. But I will say this, ever since that day, uh, this is embarrassing. But Ever since that day, now every time I go on an escalator, I always look down to make sure my foot lands on a step because I do not want that happening, especially with my like Air Precision 2s. Like those shoes are golden to me. Like the Nike React Visions, those are golden to me. Like a lot of the shoes that I have, I'm like, no, no, no. There's no way that I'm letting these get ruined. So I try to like, and I have obviously I've spent a lot of money on like clothes and stuff like that throughout the years, obviously. So like I have some good pants that I like, and if I go to the mall and I wear those, I'm like, I gotta be careful. I don't want to risk getting these pants ripped. So ever since that day, I don't have a fear of escalators. I really don't. But they're definitely a big rival of mine, and I don't know if they're gonna be on my side that day or if I'm gonna have another incident like when I was like 7 or 10 or whatever, how old I was, back in the day. Yeah. So, so yeah, that's a story that I guarantee a lot of you guys probably have never heard before in your life. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much the story of how I got stuck on an escalator, and that look that my mom gave me was like the pure look of disappointment, and I was like, alrighty, this is where we're going here, and obviously this is gonna be a fun ride home. And then, I mean, now I look back at it and I laugh. I'm like, Nick, you were such an idiot. Like, either you could have just not looked at the escalator while you were going. You could have also wore better pants. You could have also dropped the ice cream to save yourself, or you could have just taken the stairs. So, I mean, there's plenty of options, but like as a kid, you don't really, you just like, okay, follow your family, obviously to wherever you're going. So I just did what they did, and it ended up not working in my favor. But ever since that day, and we're gonna like knock on wood here. Ever since that day, I have not yet um gotten stuck on an escalator yet again. I have not. So I guess that's the bright side to this episode. And this episode, I'm surprised I got this story to go for almost 18 minutes. So I figured that this would probably be a shorter episode for a podcast, but yeah. So that's pretty much the end of this episode where I talked about how I got stuck on an escalator. If you want, I don't know how you can share this episode, but if you want to, you could share this episode. Tell your friends about it, tell your family members about it. I'm on Spotify, which that's pretty cool. So make sure to follow me on Spotify. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna start putting the episodes because I'm only doing like the audio version. I don't have an actual camera recording me right now to do like the video version, but I'm definitely gonna start doing the video version soon, I believe. I'm just trying to wait to get a better phone because right now I have the iPhone 8 Plus, but I only have 64 gigs, and I get it, like 64 gigs is a lot, but with between the wrestling that I do and social media that I do, and now I'm doing this, and I want to get those episodes. And if I want to record like video episodes, I'm gonna do it on my phone, so I can just go straight to iMovie and then upload it straight to YouTube. So I'm gonna try and get the. My sister has the iPhone 12. I think she has the Plus or like the. I think it's the iPhone 12 Plus or it's just the iPhone 12. I don't know which one. I don't even know if they have an iPhone 12 Plus. I honestly don't keep up with that stuff. I just got the newest version, and that's what she has. So yeah. So she has that, and she has the 256 gig, and that's probably what I'm gonna get. So I have plenty of storage room. Um, so once I get that, which I don't know when that'll be, but once I get that new phone, expect the video versions to start coming out. But for now, I think I'm gonna put the audio versions. They're on SoundCloud, but I'm gonna put them actually onto YouTube as well. So that's gonna be one thing that I do within the next week or so. And yeah, I mean, besides that, that's the story. I mean, there's nothing else really to it. How how much detail can you go into telling somebody that you fell on an escalator, or that you got stuck on an escalator, without embarrassing yourself? And I think I did a pretty good job. 20 minutes. So anyway, guys, I thank you so much for listening to this episode. It's been real. I am the man, the myth, the legend, your boy, the pretty boy, Nick Thompson, and actually pretty boy at professional wrestling, I should say. And I will see you guys, or I'll get back to you guys in the next episode. Hopefully, we have somebody else on this podcast with me for the next episode. If not, and it's just me, I look forward to giving you guys another good episode. Anyways, see you guys.